into our instruction as well. But, the programs, the rescue operations that go and rescue some of their rescues involve girls, like I said, as young as 6, 7 years old. And so the trauma work that is involved with these youth can take, 2, 3 years before they're even ready for any kind of vocational training or higher education.
Mm-hmm.
So
your school's primarily, other than a basic education, but your school is also will be teaching them to become stylists, people in the industry that you're already familiar with, the
right.
hair and fashion industry.
Yeah, but we also, our program is a little more extensive than that, though. While we do, yes, our goal is to teach them cosmetology skills so that they can go out, and like I said, we're a higher-end hair salon, and the idea was that they would be able to make money, because right now you can go get a $1 or $2 haircut at a Khmer hair salon, but that's not going to be enough revenue to sustain somebody and keep them from being pulled back into human trafficking or back into sex work. Because even at, they might be 17 or 18 years old, but if they're not making enough money, the only thing they know is sex, and so they could go back and sell themselves. What we wanted to do was build their esteem, get them excited, get them in an industry that they could be excited about and make money and make a decent amount of money. So we're charging $38 for a haircut and $70 for color, as opposed to the $2 haircut and the $15 color. So our prices will put our students in a position where they can either go work in another high-end hair salon, which they're starting to pop up in Phnom Penh, or they can work with us. And it gives us expansion opportunities. They can also teach with us as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and we're also teaching them how to do budgeting. We're teaching them how to work within teams. So a lot of the things that they don't have, because even the students that are at risk, because we have students that are at risk and not necessarily coming right out of sex trafficking, but these are kids that have been in orphanages most of their life, and so when they get out at the age of 18, they don't have the skills to integrate. They don't know how to pay rent. They don't know how to, so there's certain things that they've not learned, and they're really vulnerable population. So we're teaching them not only the skills that they'll need for their career, but also life skills and how to operate in the world.
Something you and I touched upon just a little bit in our previous conversation. Somebody who, it isn't just girls. Young women. You also have young boys as well.
Yep.
Not necessarily in your school, but I guess my point is that perhaps somebody doesn't want to work in the fashion industry. Somebody would prefer to be a baker or an engineer or a store clerk. Are you reaching out to other industries? This is such a wonderful idea that could be utilized by so many different industries.
You're absolutely right. And one of the things that, I was inspired by a model that was put together, a bakery model, where they're bringing students in and teaching them how to do cupcakes and big wedding cakes, and they're getting $5,000 a cake for some of the Khmer weddings and some of the upper groups that have money to spend. So when I look at this, and we actually have one male student in our school as well. So yes, you're absolutely correct in that. The vulnerable population is both male and female, and the rescue work. And the hard part is that we focus primarily just on women, because women do make up the majority of sexually exploited and trafficked, at least in Cambodia. But worldwide, there are young men that are trafficked all across the world, and especially in some of the Middle Eastern countries, and they're as young as 6 and 7 years old, and as up in their teenage years. So I think that industries, any type of industry, if there's an entrepreneur out there that is doing something great, and small businesses are all across the United States, and it's small business owners that make up the backbone of the United States. If somebody was doing IT work, or if somebody was doing making shoes, any type of operation can be taken over to a developing country and used as a model to teach skills. So, and even here in the United States, I mean, one of the discussions, I just got done meeting with the board of directors for Stolen Youth, and their whole focus is to work with traffic survivors right here in our own backyard. So they're working right here in Seattle, Washington, because we're, some statistics say number 5 in the nation for the amount of trafficked teens that we have, and all of them need skills. And so I went and talked with them about the possibility of expanding what we're doing in Cambodia right here in Seattle.
Okay. If a person wanted to, I'll just ask, how can a person get more information? We've got a little bit of time left here, but we are going to run out of time fairly quickly. Let's say a person in Europe or in the United States or Canada, anywhere in the world, if they were online, I mean, how would they get more information about this if they wanted to help or get more information?
Well, there's so many different ways that they could help. They can get more information by going right to our website, which is www.justiceandsoul.org. Or they can also start following us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, and we try and keep people updated on what's going on, and that's you can just do a search as Justice and Soul, and it'll come up on your Facebook. I think that where we could be supported, what we need as an organization is for people to get involved in one way or the other. The biggest thing is to just make people aware of what's going on, and if everybody is getting their hair done somewhere. So most people have a stylist, and what we want people to do is go to the salon and talk to your stylist and convince them to go out and check out our website and consider coming and volunteering, because our organization does rely on volunteers to come over for 1 month at a time. We typically have 2 volunteers, and they work with our educator in both taking clients, so they actually do styling so that the students will apprentice with them, or teaching some of the classes with our educator. So volunteer is one way that we can get people involved. Donations. We're still in the startup phase of this, and it won't be a self-sustaining organization for probably another year and a half, because we're basically starting from the ground up. So making donations. And ultimately, I mean, our goal is to create fashion solstice fundraisers. I mean, one of the ways I'd love to see communities get involved, and we would like to have a fashion solstice in every major city in the United States. I think it'd be great if this became kind of, something that everybody wanted to get involved with.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it is a global issue, and it's not going to go away.
No.
And it's only going to get worse without people like you. So, what are some of your personal experiences, if you've had experiences in, like Phnom Penh, meeting with some of these youngsters that have gone through this? Let's talk about that for a few minutes. Let's talk about these kids.
Well, I'll tell you, my first time meeting was in 2012. My cousin, who is also our director of education, had come over to kind of scout it out with me, and she is a makeup artist and was from New York, and so she came with me, and we were meeting with one of the NGOs, and we said, look, we've got this makeup that my employer gave me. I'd like to give it to you to give to the students. And they said, why don't you come out and teach our clients how to use it? So we went out to one of the safe houses with them, and we didn't speak any Khmer, and the students were just barely speaking any English, so they weren't. And I watched my cousin transform in probably about, 10 or 15 minutes. The shy, what's going on. And the next thing I know, there are about 4 girls around her laughing, giggling, and putting makeup on each other, and then putting makeup on Brian. And by the time it was all done, I knew I had made the right decision. Brian didn't know what she had gotten herself into. And we got back and we were having lunch, and as I looked over, she had tears rolling down her face. And she said, I can't walk away from this. I can't go on living just normal day-to-day life knowing that I can make this difference. And so she also sold everything and moved over 6 months after I did. And together we have built this. And so I think every morning we have a huddle with our team, and we share what we're grateful for, and then we talk about our goals for the day and what we're going to accomplish. And it's a pretty powerful experience to go around the room and see that these kids who have had very challenging lives have something to be grateful for every day. Mm-hmm. And the enthusiasm and the excitement and the laughter and all of those kind of things, it's like real. And our volunteers, I've had several of them say, I think my life has changed a whole lot more than their lives. So I get choked up sometimes talking about it, because it's somebody asked me what I get out of this, and I said what I get out of this is seeing their faces every morning in the huddle. Sure. And knowing that they have a future. So, and we're part of that. We get to be part of creating hope and laughter and excitement in their life.
Well, we are almost out of time. I want to remind the audience again, website to go to for more information about this is www.justiceandsoul.org. Matthew, it's been an extreme pleasure for me to have you on the show today. I want to thank you so much, both for the work that you do and for appearing on the show for us, for storytellers today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and thank you for getting the word out. I really, really appreciate it.
The least we could do. And I'd also like to thank our global audience for tuning in this evening, and thank our sponsors who make our programs possible. And now to our listening audience from around the world, this is your host, Rich-Gehlhausen, saying good night.
Millions of people reuse their shopping bags every day, and Whole Foods Market makes it easier by offering a better bag in 2 different sizes. Find out more ways to make a green change at WholeFoodsMarket.com. That's WholeFoodsMarket.com.